Hi, how you doing? This is David. We're going to be checking out this 2005 Ford Focus. It's got some vibration problems. I originally thought it may have been the motor mounts, but they seem to be okay. It's got about 93,000 miles on it, so let's go check it out. It's got 93,000 miles on it. So we're going to go ahead and change the spark plugs. See if we can get to the fuel filter and clean the mass airflow sensor. Not sure if you can hear all that rattling over here. That's all from the engine vibration. So I don't want to get too hot since I'm going to be pulling the spark plugs out. Let's hurry up and get it in the garage. And one thing about Arizona summers is this steering wheel is hot. You hear that? I'm not sure what that ticking is. Like I said, I don't want to get the engine too hot. I want to go ahead and change the plugs first. I like to use this stuff. Berryman Chem Tool B12. Works great on throttle bodies. And I like to use that to clean the mass airflow sensor because it leaves no residue. 2.0 liter motor. There's the spark plugs. The engine isn't really hot, it's mostly just ambient temperature, which is probably close to 100 degrees out here. Cold pack over each one. Pull those off, replace the spark plugs, see if there's any carbon in there. It needs an oil change, so we'll do that last. And I was reading the air filters on this apparently are rated for 50,000 to 100,000 miles, and the only way to check it is that little thing right there. As long as that's green, you're okay. So here's the spark plugs I'm going to be using. Autolite's double platinum. OEM calls for platinum, so I stepped it up a notch and went with the double platinum so they'll last. The car had a full tank of gas, so I went ahead and added 5 ounces of Lucas fuel injection cleaner. What it does is it's a detergent, so it helps dissolve anything that's on the injectors and in the combustion chamber, as well as lubricate the upper cylinder. I've got a magnetic socket here which makes it really nice, because normally they have a little rubber insert in there which helps keep the spark plug in there when you pull it out, but I always seem to lose those rubber inserts. They always fall out. So that little magnetic insert actually makes it really cool because it stays in there and it hangs onto the spark plug. It's only been in there a while. Gotta work them a little bit. Break all that carbon free. There's the old spark plug, doesn't look too bad. Looks like a double platinum. It may have been changed before. So we're going to get the new spark plugs ready. I use anti-seize on all the threads here so that it's easy to pull out, doesn't seize. Here's a new plug. We're going to make sure the gap is at 0.051, and as you can tell, the electrode is just off center, so I'm going to pull that over just a little bit. I do it by hand so that I don't apply too much pressure to it and damage it. As you can tell, now it's centered. Now to check the gap, it was actually at 0.049, so let's see, now that I've messed with it, it closed up just a little bit. .051, that's perfect. Now I'm going to apply some anti-seize. I apply just a little bit so it doesn't make a mess. The spark plugs are ready. I'm going to be changing the fuel filter next. I got to jack up the car and get underneath. It's right under here by the fuel tank. Here's the new one. I can get that to not roll away, and here's the fuel filter right here. Oh, there it goes. There we go. Now this thing is full. Okay, so I gotta go to the auto parts. I ended up tearing one of the boots for the spark plug, so I'm gonna go get a replacement. I'm not sure if they come in a package of 4 or if I can just get one. And also, the fuel filter clips are too thick. This is the original. It's a little bit skinnier, so they won't clip into the lines, the fuel lines. It's funny how you'll be working on something and find yourself wondering, what were the engineers thinking when they designed this? And there are times where we could redesign something as simple as relocating a hose or a line, relocating a bracket. That'll make it a whole lot easier to get to. But there are some things that you can tell it's tight because there is just no room in these cars nowadays. They're smaller, lighter, compact. Just leaving the Ford dealer now. Good news is I got the part. Couple of little clips since they both broke, so I don't need to replace the fuel filter at all. Those will work perfect. Bad news is $14.82 for those. Wow, I would expect it $2, $3, maybe $4 for the whole thing. Alright, car's all done. Got the oil changed, replaced the spark plugs, fuel filter, cleaned the throttle body, and I added Lucas fuel injection cleaner to the fuel tank. So I'm going to have her run that for a while. Once that tank is done, I'm going to have her run Berryman Chem Tool fuel injection cleaner. And that's a solvent, so that should help the injectors clear up a little bit.